It's downtown Atlanta, Indiana, and this is the time of the year for the New Earth Festival. And of course, I have my two favorite people from Atlanta here, Jennifer Farley and Robin Cook, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Earth Festival. Welcome, girls.
Thank you for having us today.
Well, in any other time in Atlanta, Indiana, the population's about 750, 800 people. But this weekend, you'll be close to 80 to 100,000 people. So let's talk a little bit about the New Earth Festival, and I guess Jennifer, I'll let you start off the conversation on the times and the dates and those areas that we need to cover.
All right. The first Atlanta New Earth Festival was held in 1974, and it was actually in October. But then after the first one, they decided to go ahead and have it at the end of September. So it's always the fourth full weekend of September. So this year it will be September 22nd and 23rd. The times are on Saturday from 9 to 6 and Sunday 9 to 5.
All right. Well, that's great. Now, Robin, tell us a few things that are going on up there. I mean, the events maybe on Saturday, because you got it broke down in different streets and different areas so people are familiar on where they go to find the type of goods, because there's around 600 vendors?
Right, correct.
Yeah.
So Main Street is reserved for all handmade items. That's the juried area. We have vendors all up and down Broadway Street of anything that you would want to find: collectibles, arts, crafts, farmers market. That'll be on Broadway Street. And then we have our park area, which is just off of Main Street, where there'll be more vendors, and our stage area. We have entertainment throughout the entire weekend.
Jennifer, you want to talk a little bit about that entertainment? We'll start off
Sure.
off the square there and some of that entertainment you got coming up.
Of course, the entertainment is free, and our stage is sponsored by Guardian Towing. On Saturday morning, we're going to start out with the Third Row Boys. They are actually a local group from Carmel, and this is their first year to come, so we're excited to have them. Next at 10:30, we're going to have the Stampede String Band, and they are from the Noblesville area. They're really a great group. And then, of course, we're going to have the Flying Toasters from 1 to 3 on Saturday.
And they'll rock the house.
Yes, everybody loves the
They'll
Flying
rock that,
Toasters.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they bring their own crowds, so they really make it fun. And then we're going to end at 4 o'clock. 4 to 6 will be Secondhand Smoke. They're a country band from Kokomo. And then Sunday, we always have like our little praise and worship time. So it starts at 9 with Washed White. And then at 11 o'clock is the Singing Contractors. They were there last year, and they are an unusual group. They sing a cappella, and they do a great job, really, really good job. So we've had a lot of phone calls, people wanting to come and see them too. At 1:30, we're going to have the Jay Baker Band. He's new. He's from the Indianapolis area. And then from 3:30 to 5 will be Through Being Cool. They've been here for several years. So.
You know, the one thing about it is, that Sunday morning worship type setting, I think a lot of people enjoy that. I mean, they don't want to miss church, but this is an alternative for them.
Right.
And come up there and get there before it gets hot, because we don't know what the weather's going to be, never do, okay? But as a norm, it can be pretty warm. And it's better to get there a little bit earlier than to wait till after church at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I think last year's heat was record heat, though.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
you already put in for that.
No,
Right? Turn that
Jim O'Brien
temperature
this
down.
morning. It's not happening.
Turn that temperature down a little bit. And can we mention a little bit, talk a little bit about our sponsors? Robin, you want to go through theirs? Is that a Jennifer thing?
Both of us, I
Okay.
suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
This year, Hamilton County Commissioner Christine Altman is sponsoring the Public Safety and Awareness Area again, which is on Main Street, and we'll have state police, DNR, various health information, Jennifer could probably tell you a little bit more about what's in that area. You
There
want to
is
talk about what Mark
there's-
Harebrandt's doing this year?
In the public safety area, the sheriff's department, it's the it's like the youth. Now I can't remember.
They're,
what
they're
cadets
explorers.
Yeah. They're going to be auctioning off or selling tickets for a big Dodge Ram truck.
Wow.
So they're going to be on the corner there. So
And the firehouse.
And the firehouse.
Right.
Yeah, and the firehouse is going to be manned by cadets from. Is it Cicero Township?
Cicero
they're-
Township,
Yeah,
yeah.
that they're coming in. So.
In Tipton.
Yeah, and then we have an individual. It's called Paid, and it's Parents Against Impaired Drivers. And he's actually been here before, and he has his son was in a terrible accident, and he's enclosed his car, and he brings that to kind of like let people know, somebody had caused the accident by texting. So that's kind of an awareness thing there.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so it's that situation, but he really enjoys talking to people and sharing his story. So that's going to be one thing that will be down in the public safety area. We were going to have the DNR. They usually are there, but they were called out to the hurricane, so
Yeah.
they won't be there this year. So we will miss them. Hopefully they'll be back next year. So. And then Mark Harebrandt is sponsoring the Indiana History on Wheels. They are coming this year, and that will be located in Dolly's Park. It'll be open, and it's a free exhibit. It showcases the history of the automobile in the state of Indiana, so people can come and walk through that. We're excited to have them this year. So.
Absolutely. Do you want to go through some of the sponsors, thanking some of your sponsors that you have, or?
Sure. We have Ace Paving and Roll-Off Containers. We have Atlas Chiropractic, Anchor Health Chiropractic, Bath Fitters, Best Way Disposal, Bolden's Cleaners, Champion Windows, of course, Christine Altman, as Robin mentioned, Endeavor Communications, Everdry, Family First Chiropractic. We have First Merchants, Fluid Waste, Guardian Towing is as our stage sponsor. They've sponsored for
several
like
years.
6 years, yeah. So we appreciate that. We've got Green Valley, Church of Christ, Groups Recovery Together, Hamilton County Chiropractic, of course Hamilton County Tourism, and Hamilton County TV. We appreciate that. Hughes Insurance Group, LJ Stone, Leaf Filter, Mark Harebrandt, Mr. Muffin's Trains. Robin can kind of talk about them a little bit.
I can.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
We love Mr. Muffin's Trains and
Yeah.
Liz and Steve Nelson. They have really brought a lot to our little community. And as you know, the train, all the excitement that's happening with that, we just can't thank Liz and Steve enough for what they do and what they've brought to our community.
And the one thing, and I don't want to take away from the New Earth Festival, but you've got a big shot in the arm in Atlanta up there with the train and the nickel plate
Right.
being in northern Hamilton County, and now with this festival this weekend, a big weekend in Atlanta last week. I mean, you've went through some tough times in Atlanta, Indiana, and it's starting to look like there's a
exciting.
future ahead
It is
here,
exciting.
and
Yes.
and with that train and the excursions they're going to have, and this Earth Festival every year, it has to be rewarding, because I noticed in the paper it said you were the face of the Earth Festival. I mean, it's even in print, right? Okay.
It should be her.
I know both of them don't like anyone to say anything about what they do, because they are both like to be behind the scenes, right?
Right.
Yeah, but you guys do such a wonderful job up there, and
Well, it's not
and
just
doing
Jennifer
this.
and Robin.
And well, I know that, but it
takes a lot
takes
of people.
It,
It really
it,
does.
well, obviously, because I think if anybody's up there, and I know that, just look at all the electrical wiring and junction boxes and all those things. I mean, even this on Friday when I was up there for the VIP celebration for the train, I looked around and, you know, come Saturday, that town doesn't look
Yeah,
the same.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I mean, and there's it takes such an effort. I mean, your maintenance people, your electrical people, your water people. I mean, it just goes on and on. How many people, you know, you're talking about don't just, you know, it's not just you two, but how big is the committee? How many volunteers?
You're not going to believe it when we tell you, though. We have our utility superintendent, Andy Emmer, and then our code enforcement officer / part-time help who has a full-time job elsewhere, Murray Dixon,
Yeah.
and they do that. They do all of that.
I tell you what, it's
But
amazing.
we will have the fire department and, you know, some volunteers that'll help on Saturday morning to set out trash boxes, and they'll help this week
Yeah.
to assemble trash
Yeah.
boxes, but, it's
Yeah,
not as
it's
many
a-
people as what you think.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know, we're
And
not
somebody's gotta get
saying
all
that
these-
to
yeah.
say that, oh, look at all we do.
No,
It's,
no.
it's
Oh,
a
and I have
it's a
never heard that
well-oiled
from-
machine.
I've
so,
never
you
heard
know.
it, either one of you ever say that, okay?
Yeah. And we do
No.
appreciate the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Ryan
Yes.
Ryan, and he's been great.
Yeah.
He always is great. you know.
Ryan, he gets
He's-
stuff done.
Yeah, he really does. He's very organized and on top of things,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, we think of him quite often here. He's very good to us here at Hamilton County TV and helping Jim and keeping Jim informed on what's going on, and we appreciate him. But what else we got, girls? I mean, we got a great event here, and it's exciting. Unfortunately, for the first time, we're not going to be there because
know,
we're
we're gonna miss
booked
you
on
guys.
a
Right.
Yeah.
we're
gonna miss
booked
that.
in a different venue this week, this Saturday, and it just came up, and it, as Jim says, it's a paying gig too. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
so you know,
Well, we'll save your spot for next
Yeah.
year.
we
okay?
appreciate that. We appreciate that, and we'll remember to write that down, Jim, and we'll remember to make sure that we put this day down because we enjoy coming up there, and you guys treat us greatly. But you know, there's some, you know, talk about, you know, like with all the booths and all that. Mr. Muffet, the train shop's going to be open.
Right.
I mean, there's, you know, I'm not personally not a train guy. I mean, but I was fascinated by what he has
Oh, yeah.
inside that
Amazing. Yeah.
museum.
It is amazing. Yes.
It's a really cool layout, yeah.
And don't we have a restaurant that's going to open up in
Yes,
the near
they're
future?
opening the Choo Choo Cafe, and they have a chef who has created an amazing menu that she's written some cookbooks. She had her own cooking show in Australia, so we're excited about
yeah.
that. That'll be
They're going to have a tent out in front of the restaurant there that's going to be doing samples.
This
during
Well, that'll be
weekend, yeah.
wonderful. That'll be fun.
So-
So that's a good chance there because,
Yes.
you know, after the Earth Festival goes away, they're starting to begin to get things in Atlanta there that
year round.
year round. So
Yes.
that's going to be exciting, and there's going to be, you know, that's going to be a traffic flow up there to come in you with the train rides coming from there to hopefully as far as Noblesville and
Right.
on the south end, and as far as hopefully someday Tipton on the north end. So, you know, there's a lot of fun things that
A
can
lot of
happen
possibilities.
because there's a lot of things in northern Hamilton County that people don't realize, and one happens to be your event on the Earth Festival because, I mean, it is absolutely amazing when you think that a small town like that you know, brings 80 to 100,000 people on a weekend. I mean, it's and do a great job. I mean, everybody goes, I don't know whether I want to go because of the traffic. I assure you, I've been the last 4 years. I drive right to Atlanta. I get a parking spot near the fire station up there in that
Yes.
big lot, which you know what I'm talking about, that big lot there, and park there, and I walk, okay?
Right.
And I mean, so it's, you know, and they do a good job, the flow of traffic on 19 and turning off and all the signage and everything and everybody, it's just, it's amazing. What else we got, girls?
let's see, we're going to partner again with Good Samaritan Network for our food drive.
Right.
That's kind of, we've got we've got barrels set up at the different areas in town. One being the stage area, and at a couple of the major parking lots, there will be barrels there. So as people come in, they can put food in those barrels. There's also, you can also
Scan.
scan to donate. If you don't bring
Oh, wow.
anything, you can because the scan will be on the barrel, and you can donate that way. So we always appreciate Nancy Chance. She's
Oh, she's
really
amazing.
she's a great lady.
Talk
She
about
really
another
is.
person that we're blessed to have in Hamilton
Yes.
County and what she does.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Because no matter what we believe sometimes, there are people in need in this community.
yeah.
And sometimes, the way society is set up now, and all of us coming from middle class family, I mean, even though we have a pretty good life, I mean, a devastating sickness or injury or car accident in a
Right.
family.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sometimes people have a need there, and that Good Samaritan group, and you've seen it in action many, many times, and you'll see it more.
Oh, my goodness.
In your new
Yes.
position coming
Right.
up, how amazing the groups work together all over the county and in northern Hamilton County. So we're
And that is thanks to Nancy Chang.
absolutely
Yes.
she kind of herds the cats.
She does. She does.
I mean, because everybody does great things, and the one thing when I came back here and getting on about 9 years after growing up here, I was amazed all over Hamilton County, whether it's northern Hamilton County, central Hamilton County, or southern Hamilton County, how there, even within cities and towns, how there were so many good organizations, but the right hand didn't know what the
Right,
left hand was
right,
doing.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Nancy Chance has kind of brought that group together and
Yes.
saying, "Hey, we all got to work together here, okay? Because we all have the
Yeah.
same goal." And it's wonderful that you guys are doing that for Good Samaritan up there, because you have an influx of 100,000
Right.
people coming to your community, okay, that need to know this, that there is a need for the food, and to have that scanning device up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
kind of tell a little bit some of the items that you would want to bring up there and put. Obviously, no frozen foods or
Right,
anything
no,
like that,
no,
or
no
meat, but
perishable, just mainly
canned goods and
yeah,
paper products.
Right, yeah, I'm sure they would take that.
yeah.
too.
So
Yeah.
there's all kinds of opportunities there, and what better place than the Earth Festival? Because for a community your size, I mean, you have to have an event pretty close to the biggest in Hamilton County. I mean,
That's what we've been told.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it.
Longest
Tell.
running and
Yeah, I mean,
largest.
absolutely. I mean, and it's all for such a great cause. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good products up here. I know that I give my wife a lecture before we go. We don't have any room for more stuff. I call her stuff.
You do not lecture your wife.
But at least I say it, Robin.
Nice
At
try.
least I say it that we don't need that. Well, what else we got on the New Earth Festival?
Well, we got food. Let's talk about
Yeah,
food.
talk about food.
Yes.
It's always good with food.
Yes.
Jim and I love to come from the food. Let's go ahead and talk about those food.
I just was surprised, Jennifer, the pumpkin rolls are coming back. I didn't know that. My daughter asked me that yesterday. Let's talk to Jennifer about food. Apparently she knows what's going on more than I do.
Okay, our food vendors, we have a lot of returning food vendors, and which we are so glad to have. We've got walleye fish, we've got Greek foods, we've got Baskin Robbins, sirloin tip dinners, fried Wix pies, tenderloins and veggies, of course, roast beef, barbecue, roasted nuts, kettle corn pizza, pretzels, and of course the usual, the Polish and sausage corn dogs, elephant ears, and tenderloins. So there's there's
You
got
have
to be
to have-
something. that
You
you're
have to have a
right.
tenderloin in
Yes.
Central
You have to,
Indiana,
right,
right?
yes.
I mean,
And all
Yes.
of those food vendors, there will be more. They don't
Yes.
offset
No,
on
no.
Main Street, so
Right.
there will be food vendors
All
all over
over.
town on
Yes,
private
yes.
property. And there will be, they're technically not food vendors, but
Right.
people selling fudge and
Oh,
cotton
yes,
candy
yeah.
and,
well,
like
don't you
spice
do
mixes.
noodles too? Doesn't the church?
The
do-
Christian church does
Uh-huh.
noodles and sloppy joes.
Yeah,
The
so I
noodles
mean,
are
and they've been
really
there
good.
for years.
The homemade
And,
noodles.
and looking at this list, that deep fried Wix pies, that was a big hit at the state fair this year. So, that'll be, that's kind of interesting, all
Yeah.
these vendors.
Yeah, so there's something for everybody. We've got WFMS Live Remote will be there on Saturday, and they will be at the stage area from 12 to 2, and with $200 worth of giveaways.
Well, that's
so,
good.
Yeah, so you can call in or visit them during that time and get your name in for a giveaway. Let's see, what else do we have? Our
Guardian
hospitality
Towing
tenants,
will
yeah,
be
Guardian
giving
Towing.
away 2 premium AAA memberships at some point during the Flying Toasters.
Oh,
Okay.
I
great.
have to tell you that.
Okay, well, that's good, though.
As you can see here, they kind of, sometimes they
figure it
I
out
mean,
as-
because
we
you
figure
two
it
are
out as
so
we go.
busy, yeah. But, in events like this, you have to be flexible,
a lot of
right?
It's
There's
under
a lot of
control,
details.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, we've got the kids zone too.
Yeah,
Can't
let's
forget
talk
the
a little
kids.
bit about that,
Can't forget
because
the
that's a
kids,
great,
yes.
that's a great area. That's right behind the stage,
Right.
right? So,
Yes.
nice area there, nice
Yes,
playground,
yes.
and a lot of kids spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, they do, and that is that's sponsored or put on by Celebration Central Party Rentals, and they have a tent with sweet treats, and they have all the bounce houses, so the kids can either buy a bracelet or just do 1 or 2 at a time, So, and that will be there by the water tower. So if you look for the water tower, there's the kids zone, sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Also, Republic will have a truck there on Saturday, just for the kids to kind of climb on, get in, take their picture.
They really liked it last year.
Oh, kids love
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
mean,
love that,
the
so.
touch-a-truck things are
Right.
Yeah.
huge everywhere.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So we don't want to forget the kids.
No,
We're always
absolutely.
thinking of
Right.
them too. So
And we do have the hospitality tents
yes.
in the park and one on Broadway Street that have tables and chairs. So, if you get tired or need to just take a break, there's
Mm-hmm.
plenty of areas just to stop. Who is sponsoring them this year, Jennifer?
that would be Taft Law.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Manny. That's our town attorney's.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And we do have our plaza in the park area, which is a new area that Robin can kind of tell you a little bit about that, about the
I knew we were going to get the giggles. I knew it. We partnered with Hamilton County Tourism, and they helped us get a USDA grant last year, which we're finishing up this year. And that allowed us to create this plaza area with a fire pit and sit walls right
Yeah.
right by the gazebo area, which
Right,
is just
yeah,
off of Main
yeah.
Street. And also, it helped us remodel our community center so we could do the restrooms that have accessibility from the outside for when the train comes uptown. So we were really
Yeah.
excited about that,
Yeah.
and once again grateful to Brenda Myers
Yes,
for
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. She does a lot of things for
does.
all over Hamilton
she
County,
does.
and
Her mind
from
does
north
not
to
stop.
south, east to west.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. The one thing about it too is that it also, isn't there a breakfast? Is it at the community center? Isn't there a breakfast by the Cicero Kiwanis?
Yes, yes.
They'll be serving breakfast up there, and I've had a few meals that they've done before, so they do a pretty good job.
We're
of
looking
that.
forward to
Yeah.
that. That's their
Yeah.
first year to be up here for our festival, so.
Yeah, I've seen
We're
them do
excited
some
about
things
that.
down
Yeah.
in Cicero.
Yeah.
But I usually, Jim and I always say the best is Jennifer's breakfast. That she hand carries
It
to
is.
us, okay?
And her
We don't-
lunch, and her dinner.
Yeah, we don't have to
Snacks.
go get them. We're brought our food, so that's kind of wonderful. And the great thing about it is she brings such a big plate that we get a little bit of everything. So, but man, it's always great this time of year to have you guys come down and talk about this. Let's go through the dates one more time before we get off the air here and make sure everybody.
Okay, Saturday is September 22nd is from 9 to 6, and Sunday, September 23rd is 9 to 5. You can go online at atlantaindiana.com, and we've got a festival page there that'll show you have festival pictures of last year, so kind of give you an idea of what it's all about. So we'd like for everybody to visit that if they would.
We have Town of Atlanta
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Yes.
Well, it sounds great, ladies, and I know you have a busy schedule, and I appreciate you taking time out to come down here because we're really not in Atlanta, Indiana.
So that looks really good.
It
doesn't
really looks good, but,
Yeah.
and we're not sweating or all anything like that. So thanks a lot. This is a special report from HCTV, and I'll see you next time with another special report.
Thank you.
Thank you.